Okay, so we can start. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Venerable Sir.
Hello, Venerable Sir.
Nice.
Hello, Venerable Sir.
So let's start with the 3 refuges and 5 precepts. So you can unmute everybody. Already unmuted. Emily, Zoe, Tensa, Tiri. Yamaha, and today Burmese. Yamaha wada mitan wadeta. Aham pande. Titaranena taha. Piensa tilan dhamma yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan de tame bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante. Titaranena taha. Piensa tilan dhamma yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan de tame bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Titaranena taha. Piensa tilan dhamma yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan de tame bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato tamma sambuddhassa.
Namo tata bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa.
Namo tata bhagavato
Arahato sambuddhassa.
Namo tata
Sambuddhassa.
Buddhan dharanam gissami, dhamman dharanam gissami, sangham dharanam gissami.
Buddhan dharanam gissami, dhammam dharanam gissami.
Dutiyampi buddhan dharanam gissami, dutiyampi dhamman dharanam gissami, dutiyampi sangham dharanam gissami.
Dutiyampi Buddhan dharanam gissami, dhammam dharanam gissami,
Dutiyampi dhammam dharanam gissami.
Dutiyampi
dhammam gissami.
Tatiyampi buddhan dharanam gissami, tatiyampi dhamman dharanam gissami, tatiyampi sangham dharanam gissami.
Dutiyampi Buddhan dharanam gissami, Dutiyampi dhammam dharanam gissami.
Taranagamanam pariponam. So Zoe, what is the first precept? Panati pada veramani tekha padantamadhyami. Valentina, what is the second precept?
No stealing.
Adaina dana veramani tekha padantamadhyami. Tensa, what is the third precept?
No.
That's great. So Yamona, can you help Tenza? What is the third precept? No, I cannot hear you.
Sexual misconduct.
That's right. So Tenza, what is the third precept?
Misconduct.
Can you say it again? Tenza?
Only sexual misconduct.
No sexual misconduct. Thank you. Kame tume sasara vera manite ka padantamadhyami.
Kamesu
Samadhyami.
3. What is the fourth precept?
No lying.
Mutawada Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. And Andre, what is the fifth precept?
No taking alcoholic drinks.
Dura Meraya Misapamada Thana Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Ditranena tadhampien satilan dhamman tadhukantura kidang katawa appamadena tampadeta. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be successful in everything you do. Very well. So, let's get into our stories. So let's start with Andre. Are you ready?
Once there was a bhikkhu who stayed at
No. Please kindly read the Jataka number and the Jataka name.
Jataka 148, the Jataka's judgment. Once there was a bhikkhu who stayed at different monasteries, jumping from one to another during the rainy season, and afterwards during a ceremony, he explained to some other bhikkhus that we must all live contentedly, and he collected their unnecessary accessories. Though, two bhikkhus were trying to devise something equally, 2 robes and a blanket. So they told the bhikkhu, the one who collected the robes and accessories, to decide how much each would get. He took the blanket for himself and gave both of them one robe. The Buddha explained that this was not the first time he had done this, and that in the past a jackal's wife wanted some fish, so he searched for it. 2 otters caught a fish and could not decide how to split it. So the jackal gave one the head, one the tail, and he took the fleshy part of the fish. The wife asked how he obtained this and explained how, while the Buddha, now a tree deva, observed this scene.
Okay, not now, then. Here you would use the word then. That means at that time, okay? Now means right now. So, did you understand what was wrong with that monk? Well, what did the monk do? Yeah.
Needy to be content, but he was the one that was taking it, and he himself was greedy.
That's right. Thank you very much. So, oh, that's the fish that the otters were arguing about. Okay, very good. Thank you. So, Emily, let me see. Just make sure. Yes, Emily. Are you ready?
Jataka 149, the most difficult feat of all. Once a bhikkhu was longing for his former wife, and the Buddha told him that in the past his wife almost killed him. And by request, the Buddha told the story of the past. One day the son of the king's priest was overwhelmed by the queen's beauty. So the king gave him his queen for 1 week, but months passed by and the queen didn't come back. And the king became depressed and fell ill. Then the chief advisor had a clever idea and told 2 other advisors, and they made a party and healed the king.
I see. So that is so the monk in the previous life was the king, right?
Yes.
So the monk who was now longing for his former wife was the king who almost died when his wife was enjoying with the priest.
Yeah, the priest's son.
Priest's son. I see, the son of the king's priest. Okay, okay, very good. So, oh, so that's the king who is ill, and this is a doctor who is not who doesn't know how to help the king.
Yeah.
And then and I suppose that the chief advisor was the Buddha to be, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we can continue to May's story. Wow, that's so long. May, what about to write a little bit shorter? Oh, I asked somebody to write a shorter story because... Oh, that was Yamuna, right? Did I think I asked Yamuna to write something, to write it shorter because it was too long? Is it possible? So when you try to avoid writing so long, oh wow, that's so long. Half of this is fine, all right? Like this is fine. You can summarize. You don't have to add all of those details. So, for example, how will you summarize these 2 sentences so that you get only a few words? In Kasi, there was a Brahmin that got 1,000 coins and deposited with a Brahmin family, but the family used the money for themselves. They couldn't give the money back, so they offered their daughter, and the Brahmin married her. So, to summarize this in a few words, you would say, in Kasi, a Brahmin lent his money to a family, but they gave him their daughter instead of the money. Okay, and so it is shorter and the information is there. You do not have to tell those details. Now, what about these 2 sentences? Oh wow, that's so long. The daughter asked to have a maid, but the Brahmin said no, no, since they were poor. But she said to try and get donated 1,000 coins like he did in the past. So he did that and got 700 coins. When he was going home, a Trideva saw us. Okay, so first let's shorten this one. So let's see. So this one you would say that. So he was already married. So we just could say they were poor. Hence the Brahmin. The Brahmin. How to say that? Hence, the Brahmin requested a donation of a lot of money. That's what you could say. So they were poor. Hence, the Brahmin requested a donation of a lot of money. And then we could say, when he was going home, a Trideva saw a snake go in his bag and told him if he stops, then he will die, but if he goes home, his wife will die. So he turned around and was scared. He saw people going somewhere and asked where they were going. It was an Uposatha day, and there is a wise Senaka. Okay, Senaka probably will be with capital S because it's a name. But we can say it like this. A Trideva informed the Brahmin that he or his wife will die. So that he or his wife will die. We don't know what's this thing about he turned around, but we don't have to use this. This is not really helpful because it doesn't tell us what was then. It doesn't tell us the necessary detail. And of course, he would be scared if you tell somebody that they will die. So a tree deity told the Brahmin that he will die. He or his wife will die. Even if you do not include the information about the snake, it's clear. And you will probably have the snake point a little later explained. So what's next? This was May. Yes, here it is. Then now he saw people going somewhere and asked where they were going. It was an Uposatha day, and there was wise Senaka. The Brahmin went and told Senaka what the Trideva told him. Senaka asked him questions and then said there is a snake in the bag, and that if you stopped, you would open the bag and open the bag for food. It would bite you, but if your wife opened it, the wife would get bitten. So this is actually an important point. So you could say, the Brahmin met wise Senaka. You do not have to provide this detail. The Brahmin met wise Senaka, who told him that there is a snake in the bag. That actually is totally enough to say that. Senaka asked him questions and then said yes, that's fine. Then Senaka told him to open the bag and prod it with a stick. So this could stay, that's fine. The Brahmin did it, and then Senaka told the Brahmin that his wife is misbehaving with someone. The Brahmin came home and told her wife where the money was. The next morning it wasn't there, so he went to Senaka and told him, and Senaka said to invite 7 Brahmins, then slowly take away one. He did that and said there is one that his wife invited every day, and that one person that came went to Senaka and said he took the coins. So Senaka sent his men to get the coins and punish the wife, and the thief returned the money to the Brahmin and gave him a new house. What an amazing story. Oh wow. So the Brahmin found out that his wife is not faithful to him, and so by inviting Brahmins and gradually removing one by one, they found the bad one, and this would be the short version. Okay, so as you can see, it is possible to make the text a little shorter if you avoid these details and rather tell it, in a simplified way. May, is it clear what I'm saying?
He's not here today.
That's amazing. But she can at least watch the recording. Now everybody could hopefully understand how the summaries can be done, so that you have there all the necessary information and still it is relatively short. Okay, so let's move on. So Tenza, I'm ready.
Chataka 151. Baka Brahma. Once the Buddha was born a student of Kasava who performed many good deeds, and when he died went to the heavens for many eons. Because he was gone for so many eons, he forgot about rebirth and thought he'd live forever. The Buddha then went to him and told him that we do not live forever. He and Kasava knew once again that you cannot live forever. You cannot live forever.
You mean he was born as a student of Kesava?
Yeah, the Buddha was born as a student of
Okay.
And there's some corrections I have to make.
Yeah, that's fine. So Kesava is, who is that? Is that some teacher, or is that the Buddha, or who is that?
The teacher.
Just some teacher. Okay.
Yeah.
So Kesava was the Buddha to be, or who was Kesava? So the student was our Buddha to be, right? But was this Kesava later this Buddha who came to admonish the Brahma?
Kesava became a Brahmin.
Kesava was a Brahmin. Okay. And he, Kesava, knew once again that you cannot live forever. So how is what does Kesava do here after so long time? You see, so the Buddha to be was a student of Kesava. Then he died. He was born as a Brahma for a long time, and then Buddha came to admonish this Brahma. But who is the Kesava then at that time? Do you understand? The Brahma has been in the heaven for a long time. By that time, Kesava was already dead. So where was Kesava at that time? How do you get Kesava here?
He was the Baka Brahma.
Oh, wait. The Baka Brahma was the student of Kesava, right? Oh, Kesava, aha.
Kesava was Baka Brahma.
I see. So first, the student of Kesava, the Buddha to be, became a Brahma. So, or who was the Brahma? Kesava became the Brahma.
Yeah.
I see. When he died. So when he died means Kesava. When Kesava died, he went to heaven for many eons. Then he was there for a long time, and then his student, the student of Kesava, became the Buddha, and he went to see Kesava, that is Baka Brahma, to admonish him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very well. And so, who is the Buddha, here or here? To the left?
Side.
By the right side, I see. Oh, I see, because he doesn't have any hair. Okay. The Brahma like that. Okay. I would imagine the Buddha actually, when he comes to the Brahma world, that he's a little bigger than the Brahma. But it's fine. We would always depict the Buddha as bigger than anyone else who's closer, or if we don't understand that they need to be bigger, they need to be at least the same height. In Brahma world, when the Buddha came, the Buddha had to assume the appearance of a Brahma, so he would have to be the same. The Baka Brahma is the king of the Brahmas in that one particular Brahma world. However, he also has his limitations. So there's this problem that some people believe in Brahma as the God creator, and they think that it's the same thing as in Christianity or Islam, but it's totally different, because our Brahmas cannot have a thought of anger. It doesn't exist in their mind. It is not possible. Whereas the Christian God, for example, is angry again and again and again. So there are many verses in the Bible which show that the Christian God gets angry again and again and again. Whereas our God, who thinks he's a creator, he doesn't have any anger, and he simply cannot have it. You know, it's the same thing like you cannot have wings on your back, or you can, but they will not fly. So just like you cannot fly just by flapping your hands, in that same way, a Brahma cannot get angry because he doesn't have the necessary defilement. He doesn't have the necessary mental ability to get angry. It's not possible. Whereas Christian God not only has that ability, but also uses it again and again and again. Christian God is again and again and again angry. And how much is he angry? Is he angry just by thinking, oh, this guy is a bad guy? No, 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 no. The Christian God can be so angry that he can kill. He doesn't kill one person or two person. He can kill thousands, hundreds of thousands of people immediately. And he does that. And he did it. And that's what the Christians believe. So the Christian God really is very different from the Buddhist God. So that's the very interesting thing about our Brahmas, that the Brahmas in Buddhism as well as in Hinduism cannot get angry to the level that they would kill anyone or anything of that kind. Buddhist Brahmas, moreover, cannot get angry at all. And they cannot because they don't have the potential to get angry. It's just not possible. All right, so that was Tenza. Let's see, Tiri.
Honorable sir, I didn't post my thing because, actually my mom posted and she couldn't find where to post it. And so, I have it in my notebook still. Should I read it from my notebook?
Okay. And will you post it later?
Okay. But I didn't have the paper, the page prepared. Dhp 152. To stay silent is unrighteous. One time there was an ascetic who stored pots of medicine. Long ago, two came for ascetics. One day they were given lots of salt on a leaf. One of them saved some salt, and the other one scolded him.
So it's 152 to remain silent.
Correct.
Okay, that's relatively short.
It's underneath this.
Yes, that's Venerable Pilindavacha. Did you mention Pilindavacha, Venerable Pilindavacha in the summary?
No.
It's very important. He's my favorite monk. Venerable Pilindavacha, he was going for alms round in a village. He saw there a crying girl who could not have, any flowers or jewels or jewelry on her body, even though it was a very important festival. So she was crying. And so Venerable Pilindavacha, by his psychic powers, created a very beautiful jewel on her head as a crown. Made of gold and in the shape of lotuses. And then the people were jealous and they thought that these people, that the family stole that jewel from somebody. So the king put them into prison. Then Venerable Pilindavacha went up to the king and he changed the king's palace into the gold. So then the king understood, so the beautiful jewel was made by your psychic powers. And so the king released the family. Then the people were very happy about Venerable Pilindavacha's psychic powers, so they started to give a lot of medicine to Venerable Pilindavacha, namely honey, sugar, ghee, oil, and butter. And Venerable Pilindavacha didn't need it, so he gave it to his students, but his students also didn't need it, so they put it into a storeroom. And they were storing so much that rats and other animals came to eat it. So when lay people saw that their donations are eaten up by animals, they were not happy. So the Buddha decided that that the medicine can be kept maximum 7 days and then must be discarded. And then we finally get the story of the past. So, Teri, can you please repeat the story of the past? I didn't pay attention.
In my summary or reading on
Your
the
summary.
screen?
Your summary.
Okay. Long ago, two kings were ascetics. One day, they were given lots of salt on a leaf. One of them saved some and salt, and the other one scolded him. This is talking about some details about the kings.
So one king became an ascetic and the other king also became an ascetic, right?
In here.
So both of the two kings became ascetics, right? Do you know what's an ascetic? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. So I was already thinking about it. So you could say one king became an ascetic, and therefore his friend also became an ascetic, and the other king received salt in the village, and he was storing that salt. So he was then admonished by the first ascetic that they have renounced their kingship and wealth, so it doesn't make sense that they would be gathering wealth now as ascetics. You see, you foolish man, the Gandharan ascetic chided, you forsook your great kingdom, 300 yojanas in extent, which means 3,000 kilometers, to take up the religious life and to attain freedom from attachments. But here you are longing for salt. Having thrown away all your wealth and power, how can you now hoard this miserable salt? Okay, so his friend was happy about the admonishment and things got better. The Gandharan ascetic adamantly replied, whether or not you take offense, what I say is correct, so there is no fault on my part in speaking out. What I am saying is the truth, and the truth will endure. I am not trying to shape you as a potter beats and shapes wet clay. Rather, I seek to add the finishing touches to a well-fired wet vessel. In other words, if you admonish somebody and they do not like your admonishment, you need to explain that you are not trying to change them in a way that you would be changing a stone into a beautiful statue, or as here, shape clay into a pot. Instead, you could flatter them a little, like here the Buddhatavi. I seek to add the finishing touches to a well-fired vessel. In other words, you would say, I am trying to what do you say that? I am trying to perfect the almost perfect statue. All right. And here, this is the point. If none were trained in wisdom and good conduct, many would wander uselessly like blinded buffaloes. In other words, it's very important to admonish each other. And when it is said correctly, then the other ascetic apologizes. So, Master, please admonish me whenever it is necessary. It is very common among Buddhist monks that they admonish each other. But unfortunately, even though monks admonish each other, not always they then follow according to the admonishment. It's very important to have this power to first be brave to tell another person about their mistake, and of course to explain to them that you're not trying to show that the other person is useless or bad. You are trying to explain that the other person is almost perfect and you are just supporting them in their intention to become as best as possible. Okay, so Valentina, as always, long summary. I would like to ask Valentina also to be inspired by my explanation for May. Yeah, it's quite similar. May and Valentina have similar length. So see, Valentina, if you can write shorter summaries so that we can do the reading faster, and you also yourself think more about what exactly is the story about and how to summarize the main points. Okay, so I'm ready.
Jataka number 153, the Great Monkey Cave. Some bhikkhus were talking about the good that Buddha did for his relatives, and when Buddha heard, he told them that this was not the first time Tathagata has done this. Long ago, there was a monkey who was the leader of a troop of 80,000 monkeys, and there was a mango tree. The king ordered the monkeys to pick up all the tiny fruit from the tree, but there was one that was not found, and once it ripened, it fell into the river. At that time, King Marandatta bathed in the river and saw the mango floating around in the river. So he tried it and really enjoyed it. So he went to the tree which the mango came from and slept there with candles lit and guards set on each side. That night, the monkeys ate the mango from the tree, and the king was awakened by this noise. So he ordered his archers to kill those monkeys. The king monkey, however, saved the other monkeys' lives, but got seriously injured by a monkey who wanted to overthrow him for a long time. The king monkey was in much pain, and when the king saw this, he thought that this monkey did not deserve to die and nursed this. He told the king, "If you wish to be a righteous ruler, the happiness of your kingdom, your cities, and your people must be dear to you." After teaching the king, the monkey died and was honored. The king then ruled his kingdom righteously and became destined for heaven. Okay. Oh, here we have the monkey and the mango tree. Nice, thank you. All right, Yamuna. Do you have Yamuna today? Yamuna, I cannot hear you at all. Are you here?
Jataka 154, the potter. A group of bhikkhus had bad thoughts and wanted to become lay. The Buddha told them the story of the past. Long ago, a king saw two mango trees. One was stripped bare because people picked it, and another one had lots of ripe mangoes. The king thought that the bare tree has no worries of being picked, and the ripe tree has worries of getting there. So he would rather be the bear tree. He meditated using the mango tree as his subject and became a Pakeka Buddha and moved to a cave. This happened to 3 other kings when they all lived in the cave together, and the man asked them how they became Pakeka Buddhas, and they told him what happened. The man told his wife he wanted to become an ascetic, and the wife left him and their children to become a bhikkhu. The man trained the children to become independent and then left them with their relatives to become an ascetic. The 2 bhikkhus saw each other, and the man said that she just left the children while he cared for them. They went their separate ways, and the man went to Brahma heaven.
So wait, this doesn't make sense, right? So the man told his wife that he wanted to become an ascetic. So then the wife left him, or he left his wife? Doesn't make any sense, right? So he wanted to become an ascetic, right? Not his wife. Yamona, how do you understand it? You're muted.
His wife left him.
But he wanted to be an ascetic, right? So it doesn't make sense.
He wanted to be an ascetic, but his wife tricked him and then left him to become an ascetic.
Aha! He wanted to become an ascetic, but instead his wife became an ascetic. Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Oops. Zue, did you have the... Oh, you were working on 146, very well. Yes, very well, yes. I wanted you to write it because from Yamuna, we needed to have a shorter version. So Yamuna, can you read for us the shorter version right away for 146?
Papa 146. The secret charm. A bhikkhu was attached to a woman and wanted to be led. When the Buddha heard this, he told the bhikkhu that long ago she wanted you to die in a fire. The Buddha told the story of the past. Long ago, a king saved a snake king's wife. In return, the snake king taught the king the animal language. If the king told another person about this, he would die in a fire. One day, the king heard funny things that the animal said and laughed. The queen insisted to tell her that he laughed about what he laughed about. Even though the king told her that he would die if he told her about the secret, when Sokka heard that the king was about to break his promise to the snake, he saved the king by telling the king to have the queen get whipped in the back 100 times in order to know the charm. After 3 whips on the back, the queen gave up. So the king escaped from the fire. The king was a bhikkhu and the queen was the woman.
Okay, amazing. Alright, just a moment. Yes. Zui, I'm ready.
Jataka 146, The Secret Charm. The Buddha cautions the bhikkhu against his longing for his lay life wife, emphasizing that she hinders his spiritual path. The Buddha recounts a tale of King Seneca and the grateful snake. The king saves the snake's life and they become friends. When the snake attempts to meet the king's veil, he sends a maiden, but a misunderstanding leads to conflict. The snake's anger escalates, and he sends snakes to kill the king. After clarifying the situation, the king and the snake reconcile. The king possesses a charm to understand animals' voices, but it comes with a dangerous condition. Sharing it will result in flames. Despite warnings, the queen insists on learning the charm. A divine being intervenes, advising the king to insist on the beating as a requirement. The queen, determined yet regretful, endures the ordeal, highlighting the consequences of her desire for the charm.
You wrote it. You wrote this alone, Zway?
My mom helped me.
Your mom helped you. Yes, I can see that. The language here is a little bit higher level. Was the story very difficult?
Wait, what?
Was the story difficult to summarize?
No.
Okay.
But my summary was a bit long, so
I see. I see. Okay, it was too long. Yes, very well. All right, here we have the snake. Very well. What are these things in these three?
I think that in the start of the story, it said that kids were throwing like rocks at the snake.
I see. Okay, thank you, everybody. So I'll make the attendance. All right, so anybody has any question about these stories? Emily?
Can I get to the bathroom?
Sure. So I think Tenza can call Sandy. I see we are having Yaza and Elma already. Emily, you're locking yourself in the room?
Yeah.
Why are you locking yourself?
Today's my birthday, and my mom said people might come in, little children.
So happy birthday, Emily.
Thank you.
Nice. All right, so let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture. So you will have a big birthday party, Emily? And now you have night, right?
Not a big birthday party, a small birthday party.
A small one. Okay. All right. Nice. So as you're sitting in a comfortable meditation posture, make sure your back is erect. If you worry that your back is not erect, you can put your shoulders a little back. All right. I suggest that to Yaza and to who else? Especially Yaza, the rest is fine. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 15 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy and changing. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be happy. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy. And changing. And as we give freedom to the body to be the way it is, we ourselves achieve freedom from worry about the body. Let's watch this freedom. Let's enjoy this peace. Now let's share our thoughts of loving kindness with other living beings. We don't force, we don't expect, we just allow. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this continent be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. And we still have about 4 minutes, so we curiously watch the relationship between the mind and the permission that all beings experience peace. အခုတရားအထုတ်ဖို့အချိန်ပြီးသွားလို့စိတ်ထဲမှာအသာမထွက်ပဲနောက်ဆုံးဆုံးဖြတ်ချက်ချလိုက်ပါမယ်အခုကတည်းကအမြဲတည်းထားကအားလုံးကိုမေတ္တာပို့ပါမယ်အခုကတည်းကအမြဲတည်းထားကအားလုံးကိုမေတ္တာပို့ပါမယ်အခုကတည်းကအမြဲတည်းထားကအားလုံးကိုမေတ္တာပို့ပါမယ်အဲ့ဒီဆုံးဖြတ်ချက်နဲ့ဖြည်းဖြည်းလေးတည်ထားပြီးကိုထိုင်တဲ့ area ပုတ်ကိုပြောင်းလိုက်ပါမယ် area ပုတ်ကိုပြောင်းလိုက်ပြီးတော့10 minute 2 minute လောက်ရာထားတဲ့ငြိမ်းချမ်းတဲ့စိတ်ကိုစိတ်ဝင်တစားကြည့်ရှုလေ့လာပါမယ် So I changed to Burmese, right? So we will stay 1 minute without any movement and watch our mind. Okay, very well. So let's recite Okatha, and we will be reciting only one language each week. So if we recite Burmese, and today we recite Through Refuges 5 Precepts in Burmese, we will recite Okatha in Burmese. And if we recite in Sri Lankan pronunciation, we will recite Okatha in English. So I'll try to pop it up. Here it is. I'm ready. So because today we recited Through Refuges 5 Precepts in Burmese, we will recite only the Burmese version. So everybody please unmute. All right, so Zoe and Almao also may like to unmute. Emily and Valentina also. We can keep our hands together at the chest. Okatha, Okatha, Okatha.
Okatha, Okatha, Okatha.
Kayakan, Wasikan, Manokan.
Kayakan, Wasikan, Manokan.
Tabbadota.
Tabbadota.
Kataindo Apido go.
Kataindo Apido go.
Piaupa Sichin Juna.
Piaupa Sichin Juna.
Patamadutia Tatia, the chain, Thong, Jane Yao Ao.
ปฐมกิจสัตยาเจตงเจเนี่ย
Fiya yatana, Tiya yatana, Thankha yatana. Yatana Myatong Pado Go Ayu Ate Ali Amyat Let all more you Shiko Puzo Pumyo Manshot Kadopa I Ishinfia Kadoya Do Count Mu can see the Nadu Jao Apeliba Katompa Yapyeshipa Yandu Myungaba Wipeti Tayaliba Biatana Tayangaba Anamyuko Zechaupa Mesa Deiti Chausa Nebadoma Aka Kateng Ken Long Yang Di Pshiyue Mataya Potaya Naiban Chanda Tayado Myaku Yaya Balo I Shinfia Thank you. So this is all for the preteens. It was a pleasure to see everybody. And if you want to go, you can. I will stay with the teens, with Almao, Sandy, and Yasa. Goodbye, everybody. All right, we have a very small class. I saw Caitlin joining us during meditation, right? Did you notice it? Caitlin. Caitlin. How is she written? Caitlin. Oops. So I'm trying to invite Caitlin for the meeting, but I am not very successful. Okay, Caitlin's back. So, a son is you, or is that your mom?
It's my father, but I have his account in my computer.
Okay, so you could read those messages directly. Okay, that's good. So, Caitlin, do you think you'd be able to come to our classes about 10 minutes before we start? Or do you have something else?
Yes, very closer. I can do that.
Okay, nice. So, Alright, so let's look at the stories right away. So we have improved the system and we actually read the stories right from Facebook. So I would like to invite everybody to always upload your summary in our Facebook group. And if you cannot find the post, just let us know in Viber so that we provide the link directly. Okay. So the early story is 7.1, Mao. Did anybody read 6.8? Yes, so we can move on to 7.1 right away. Here it is. I'm not sharing the screen yet, right? Okay, so 7.1. Oh, we have Caitlin as well. Oh, wow, that's so long. All right, so Caitlin, can you see my screen?
Yes, Venerable Sir.
Okay, so you can start reading. Please always remember to read the number of the story and the name of the story as well.
So 7.1, the Tagata suffers not. The Vata joined forces with Ajat and climbed a rock, saying to himself that he would kill the teacher and threw down a rock. Fortunately, two mountain crags caught the rock and broke it, but one of the pieces hit the foot of the teacher, which caused him to bleed. The teacher did suffer intense pain and requested the monks to carry him to Jivaka's mango grove. When Jivaka heard the news, he immediately went to heal the wound. Jivaka finished treating the teacher and left the gates closed behind him. When Jivaka returned to take off the bandage to prevent the teacher from suffering, he could not go back inside. The teacher then addressed Elder Anada, asking him to remove the bandage as Jivaka could not enter the gate. At early dawn, Jivaka asked the teacher whether or not he suffered. The teacher replied that all suffering is extinguished for the Tagata even when he sat on the throne of enlightenment.
Okay, thank you very much. 7.2.
7.2 is free from attachment. So after staying in residence during the season of rains at Rajagaha, the teacher announced to the monks he would be going on a pilgrimage for alms. In order for the teachers to have a pleasant pilgrimage, the monks would scald their bowls and dye their robes. However, Elder Kasapa the Great decided to wash his
robes, which offended the other monks. The monks thought that the elder had some connections to other kinsfolk and pondered on where he would go if he rejected all their good offices. As the teacher set out on his pilgrimage, he did not want to leave the monastery empty, so he ordered the elder to come back and wash the monastery. The other monks were offended that the elder came back and asked the teacher when the elder made his earnest wish. The teacher then explained the elder's whole story, beginning with his earth wish and the dispensation of the Buddha.
Do you understand these words? Scald their bowls?
I remember searching it up, but I forgot what it means now.
I suggest that this in this case will mean simply burn their bowls. So it is possible to take a bowl, for example, with the wrong color or not really burnt well if it is made of clay, and put it into an oven to burn it. When it is burned, it can stay longer, and it is the pieces of it does not mix up with the food. Let's see, what does the dictionary say? Yes, scald means to clean it by boiling water. Yes, scald means to to clean by boiling water. Do you mean earth wish or earnest wish?
In the book it said earnest wish.
Earnest, yes, because here you have earth wish. You have earnest wish here, and then you have earth wish. You see it?
Oh, I think that was a typo. I apologize. I'll change it.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, very well. Thank you very much. So, Alma, can you please read for us your 7.2 summary?
7.2 Free from attachment. The Buddha was about to go on an alms round pilgrimage with many other monks. The monks were getting prepared, and Elder Kassapa was washing his robes. The other monks were offended by this, but the Buddha told the monks that Elder Kassapa had no attachment.
I see. So the other monks, what were they actually offended by? That they thought that Elder Kassapa is lazy, or what was the problem?
Well, it said that they were dyeing their robes and scalding their bowls. But I don't really remember anything about them being the reason why they were offended.
Caitlin, did you notice the reason? Did you understand the reason why the monks were offended?
Well, my understanding of it was that if you wash the robes, because the other monks were dyeing it to make the color, I guess, deeper or darker. But if you wash it, I think my understanding is the dye comes out instead of so it makes the robes lighter. So maybe that's why they were offended. I'm not sure.
So how would it be related to the earnest wish?
I'm not very sure. It's been a while since I read it.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't have 2 classes, so it's been about 3 weeks that we didn't have a class. All right, so let's look at that story, 7.2. It's a tiny short story. I see. It's a little complicated. So the monks were doing something else and Venerable Kassapa was doing something else. So they were coloring their robes and they were washing their bowls, while Venerable Kassapa was doing something else. He was washing his robes. And so the monks were wondering, why does Venerable Kassapa wash his robes? And then there's some connection to the supporters. I'm also not able to understand that. So many of these are not the elder kinsfolk as his supporters, and so many as are not his supporters are his kinsfolk. So in other words, those who are not his supporters are his family members, and those who are not his family members are his supporters. They show honor and reverence to him. They provide him with anything he needs. So this portion now is a little clear, but I don't understand the connection between his washing the robes and this showing the honor. So if the people show him the honor and he washes his robes, so what is the problem? If he rejects all of their good offices, so if he rejects their help and support, where will he go? He will surely not go anywhere because he is dependent on their support. And so the idea is that if Venerable Kassapa is washing his robes, then it means he will not go with the Buddha, because probably it means that he is not getting ready for a journey. If he were getting ready for a journey, he would be washing his bowl and dyeing his robes. So washing the robes apparently was done when somebody was just staying in the monastery, and if somebody were to travel, they would have to also dye their robes and wash their bowls. So they worried that Venerable Kassapa is actually not going out of the monastery because he's dependent on the monastery and the lay people. And so the Buddha at one point really asked Venerable Kassapa to return back to the monastery instead of going for the travel. And so Venerable Kassapa really returned to the monastery, and the monks said, "You see, we know it. Venerable Kassapa cannot live without his supporters. He is dependent on them so much." And that's when the Buddha could explain to the monks that Venerable Kassapa is not dependent on anyone. Is it clear now? Okay, so let's move on. So now we have 7.9 from Caitlin and Sandy. So let's start with Sandy. Please wait. I see you have there 7.10. So let's move to 7.9. Yes, now it's ready. Sandy, please wait. Your microphone is not, your sound is not clear. Can you make some adjustments?
Is this better?
Yes, now it's very good.
Okay. Elder Rivata of the Acacia Forest, 7.9. Elder Sariputa's youngest brother, Rivata, is the only son remaining to inherit his family's wealth, so his mother arranges his marriage while he is still a boy. However, Rivata soon bears witness to impermanence and sneaks off to become a monk as well. After becoming a novice, Revata takes residence in an acacia forest far away from his kinsmen. During the rainy season, he attains arahatship together with supernatural facilities. When the teacher goes to visit Revata, he confirms that Elder Sivali is among them, as the gods will be catering to his needs along the trek. This is due to his action in a past life where he gave fresh honey for free in return for merit.
Yes. Now, supernatural faculties. We have four. We arahantship with supernatural faculties. It's together one thing. So arahantship with four special characteristics, or with four special abilities. All right, and these abilities are most importantly related to grammar and meaning of the Buddha's teachings. So it's an arahant with these four abilities has amazing understanding of the grammar of the Buddha's teachings. That means he is able to split the words into pieces and tell you how are they, what is exactly their meaning, and how are they grammatically coming together, and why are they put together in this way and not another way. All right, so let's see 7.10.
A courtesan attempts a monk, 7.10. A courtesan is stood up by a man in the garden, and so she walks along the path to make up for it. She comes across a monk and decides to throw him into confusion. She undressed and redressed herself, clapped her hands, and laughed. The elder's body was excited, but he was just confused. When the teacher saw how the woman's evil conduct was upsetting the elder, and projected him that there is no delight in those that abide their lust, but instead in those that are free from passion, the elder attained arahatship together with supernatural faculties.
Very well. So now you already know what are the supernatural faculties. There are four. I explained about two. But most importantly, they're related to wisdom. So Venerable Sariputta was the best in these supernatural faculties. And that's why we have a special book or several books from Venerable Sariputta. He didn't write them, but we believe that he taught them to his students, such as the great book called Patisambhida Magga, which is a very important book which explains how to become enlightened. Okay, Caitlin.
7.9. Elder Rivata of the Acacia Forest. Elder Sariputta had a younger brother Rivata, who was the only one left at his home, as his 3 sisters and 2 brothers have entered the religious life. So the elder decided to get him married while he was still young. When Rivata was 7, his mom made preparations to get him married. However, Rivata thought to himself and decided to run away and become a monk. After running away, he arrived at a region with 30 monks. After the monks figured out he was Elder Sariputta's brother, they sent the word to the elder. Before 3 months of the rainy season had passed, Rivata managed to attain arahatship with supernatural faculties. When Elder Sariputta and the teacher went to visit Rivata, the elder questioned whether or not Elder Sivali was with them. When the teacher confirmed, he explained that he was with them as he gave honey for free to others in return for merit.
Here you have something very interesting. The elder decided to get him married. So I wonder whether you meant the mom. So the mother decided to get him married. Isn't that a little more correct? What do you think? 7-9. Let's see who decided. Because monks actually are prohibited to help anyone to get married. So this would be very strange. Let's see.
Venerable Sir, it was the mother.
It was the mother, right? Should he, Venerable Sariputta, make a monk of Revata also? All this wealth will be lost and the family stock will be uprooted. I will get him married while he is yet a mere boy. So, yes. Alright, let's move on. Yes, ready. Caitlin, are you here with us? It's like the video is frozen. Okay, we're back. So we are ready. 7.10, please.
7.10 A courtesy intensive monk. There was a certain monk who lived by his alms bowl, got a subject of meditation from the teacher, and retired to a dilapidated pleasure garden for the purpose of meditation. A courtesan made his assignation with the man, but the man did not keep it. However, the woman did keep it. She meets a monk and decides to play around to confuse him.
Seems like we really have some connection problems. Okay, so we have lost the connection, and I think you were somewhere here, and she undressed herself.
Oh, she undressed herself several times and put it on again, unloosened her hair, bound it up again, and clapped her hands laughing. The elder became excited, but was also confused. When the teacher saw this woman's evil conduct, which was upsetting the elder, the teacher projected to him that there is no delight in those who abide.
Okay, free from passion. The elder then attained arahantship with supernatural faculties. Well done. So we can continue. Next we have 8.1. By Yaza. Here it is. Okay, I'm ready.
There was a man with an unordinary cruelty who acted as an executioner of thieves after he killed his own former group of thieves he was in. After killing many thieves, he retired from his position after 55 years. However, due to his evil actions, he could not be at peace with himself until Elder Sariputta had preached the law to him. He died soon after, but was reborn in the world of Tusita gods simply because he earnestly listened to Elder Sariputta's discourse.
Very well. Do you understand what is the law?
It's the Dhamma, the teachings of the Buddha.
Of the Buddha, yes. Thank you very much. So let's look at 8.2.
8.2 Conversion of Bahia Darusiriya. A man was washed upon shore with no clothes and said wore only twigs and bark. When people saw him, they gave him food and praised him as an arhat. After hearing this, he indeed believed he was an arhat. A deity then remembered he was associated with this man in a past life, and neither of them became an arhat. The deity, is it deity or deity?
Deity.
The deity informed him that the Buddha was north when asked if there were any arhats in this world, and the man immediately set off to find him. When he saw the Buddha, he was overcome by joy, and after hearing a single discourse, he attained arhatship. He soon died after and passed into Nibbana.
Yes, very well. Deity.
Deity.
Yeah, deity.
Deity. Deity.
And we had there also acacia, right? Or that's how I would pronounce it.
Acacia.
Great. So, do you know what's acacia? Yes, it's a kind of tree. Very well. So, anybody has any question, any concerns, anything you'd like to tell me? I can see Caitlin is planning to come back. So, let's look at 3 refuges, 5 precepts. So, I would like to ask you to unmute. Yamahang in Burmese. Yamaha wadamitam wadeta. Ambande. Titranena taha. Piensa tilan dhaman yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan deta me bante. Anukampa upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante. Titranena taha. Piensa tilan dhamma yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan deta me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Titranena taha. Piensa tilan dhamma yasami. Anogahan katawa. Tilan deta me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo tata bhagavato arahato tamma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma.
Bodhantaranang gissami, dhammantaranang gissami, tanghantaranang gissami.
Bodhantaranang gissami, gissami.
Dutiyampi bodhantaranang gissami, dutiyampi dhammantaranang gissami, dutiyampi tanghantaranang gissami.
Bodhantaranang gissami, dutiyampi dhammantaranang gissami, dutiyampi tanghantaranang gissami.
Tatiyampi bodhantaranang gissami, tatiyampi dhammantaranang gissami, tatiyampi tanghantaranang gissami.
Tatiyampi bodhantaranang gissami, tatiyampi dhammantaranang gissami, tatiyampi tanghantaranang gissami.
Dharanaagamanam pariponam. Okay, so Alma, what is the first precept?
No killing.
Panati pata veramani padantamadyami. Sandy, what is the second precept?
No stealing.
Adaina dana veramani padantamadyami. Yaza, what is the third precept?
No committing sexual misconduct.
Kame tumaisa sara veramani padantamadyami. Caitlin, what is the fourth precept?
No lying.
Mudawada veramani padantamadyami. Yaza, what is the fifth precept?
No taking drugs or alcohol.
Dura Meriam is a pamada thana veramani padantamadyami. Titarnena tadhain pian satilan dhammanta dukantura kitang katawa appama de natampa de tham. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be successful in everything you do. Very well. So it was a pleasure to see you everybody today and hope to see you again next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be successful in everything you do.